Believe it or not, that little outburst will help me crop when the start of the podcast is.
That should be our outro or something. Any police song.
Are you on about Focus? Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Brilliant. Yeah.
What?
So we're all going to share it, or just one of us? Okay. Yeah, I've got the notification that you're streaming. That should be our outro. Oh, people can hear us, dude, and 8 people are watching. Oh God.
Well,
they can hear me and Adam though.
We're live now. We're on stream.
We're live.
Hello. Let's all say welcome each. Welcome.
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 I mean, this is a start to a podcast. This isn't it, or a live podcast.
I really have no idea why they could hear you. There was no audio from you coming through. I'm so glad they couldn't hear me.
Yeah. So I'm glad I went on to look at the watch party. The link.
No one will ever know. Let's do this start properly then, at least. Come on. Yeah. We're professionals here. Quote unquote professionals. Right, welcome. This is episode number 153 of the Fret Talk podcast and the live casts. You are here with your host, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. That's this guy. With my shirt that says pew, 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 which is pretty damn awesome. You are here on this side. It is with Mr. Lee Padabadabadoo. Say hi, Lee.
Hi, guys. How you all doing?
Yeah, I got it right. And over this side, over here, is Mr. William of Rocket Complex.
That's me. I'm the one with the hair, but I've luckily booked a hair appointment for the first time since, I think December. I could finally get a haircut, and I'm so happy about it.
But all of that beautiful, luscious hair.
I know. It's been effort. I've had to blow dry it and condition it and brush it every day. It's a massive faff.
I get the point that quietly and internally makes you happy.
I hate it. It's so much effort, especially if I'm going for a run. I can't see anything because my fringe comes down to my mouth now, so it just covers my whole face.
But again, with your hair billowing gracefully in the wind, I still get the vibe of kind of your thing.
Windswept and gorgeous.
That's it, yeah.
Right, tell me, dude, where have you shared this watch party? Because I can't see
I've just done it in Pedalboards of Doom now.
You've shared it from Pedalboards of Doom, or because it's already streaming to
Pedalboards of Doom.
Well, it's already streaming to Pedalboards of Doom.
You get.
Yeah, so
you get what?
That's what I did last time. Was it sends people out a notification when a group is doing a watch party for something.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we are now discussing technical things is absolutely fantastic.
No, I just shared it in Pedalboards of Doom. I messed up. Right, hang on.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I found it now. So, right, that's groovy.
Carry on. It is very groovy. We're joined by. It says we're joined by Will Powell here, which that surprises me because you're there.
I am there. So did you know?
You must be omnipresent, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm in the ether. I'm my own dad, my son, and my own ghost.
In the fact that we are indeed, that's quite fitting for today, isn't it? Because there have been a few religious streams happening in the
God.
Yeah, and that is just annoying.
Piss off, man.
But I mean, the admin team were quick to tackle that right down. So absolute kudos to the admin team, and thank you to Will as well, making us aware. So
yeah,
there we go.
That was Will saying, "Oi, Lee," and me going, "Oh shit."
Exactly.
I've never ever had religious live streams, and then on Pedal Zoom, and then we had 2 within a matter of about 15 minutes.
Which is so weird.
Absolutely like buses. Hello,
you wait,
Ben Fletch. How are you doing, sir?
And if you remain tuned in today, about midway through this podcast, we are going to be announcing the winner to the Fletcher Pickups Dave Gilmore-esque pickup Stratocaster set competition. So stay tuned, and you'll find out. If you did enter that, make sure that you stay tuned until the middle. We might even save it to the end so that you have to watch.
We'll see how we go.
So, indeed, how are we, guys?
Good, mate.
All good, man. All good.
All the better to see you, boys. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a bit warm recently, hasn't it?
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah. This room with all the foam keeps in the heat. So
I've got the same thing.
Utterly, yeah. It's been awful.
I've got like 10 times more foam than you have as well. Yeah. And it's all like...
I hate being in your room.
Yeah.
A foam swinging contest, boys. Come on.
Foam swinging.
I'm sure I've got some around here somewhere. Oh, look, perfect shape as well.
Oh, God.
Right. So, in fact, actually, before we go on to our officials this week, it has been what I was watching. I was watching a YouTube video this week. In fact, it was a YouTube video from someone who we did a little live stream with a couple of it was about a month and a half ago, something like that. Mr. Alex Miller from Xander Effects. He recorded one of his demo videos for the Junipero whilst this heat was on, and there's interspersed within that video. There's about 3 times where he just goes, "Oh, it's so fucking hot." I mean, I feel it, man. I think it in my soul. Was episode number 6, which was the harmonic tremolo. So go check that video out once this is finished, because it's absolutely hilarious. Even if you have absolutely no interest in multi-modulation pedals at all, it's worth it just for those moments. But yeah, I mean, I've been following the series of those, and they are very well done. And he's knocking them out like 1 or 2 a week, which is an incredible pace. So hats off to Alex.
Yeah, he's a good lad. But we're doing a whole week of advertising with him again this week coming up. So yeah, check out. So you'll see a few more pedals than what we advertised last time. Last time we concentrated on the Junipero. We're still going to be doing that, but we're going to elaborate a bit more on some of his other range.
Yeah, and that's a glaring omission of what's actually happened this week, because like literally yesterday, I think it was. Xander Circuits has done a collaboration with
Champion Lecky.
Champion Lecky, that's the
yeah, that pedal looks awesome. It's a version of the Cafetiere.
Yeah, it's the Brew, isn't it? It's the Cafetiere and a boost pedal, but it's like a stripped back version of the Cafetiere, and which I actually think is a really, really cool addition.
Yeah, so that's the Cafetiere, and it has back to front for everyone, unfortunately. But you can see it's got like 6 different clipping options and these sort of things. And I think he's taken that away. And
it's kind of stripped it back to like real basics, where it is just the core Cafetiere sound with like tone, volume, and I think it's got a couple of clipping options, but they're on a toggle rather than a 6-way style.
Well, that's what you need from a pedal. Is just sometimes in the first version you put in all of the options, and then it's like heat map data, which is like take the PS4 from the first version of the PS4, they took out like the optical cable for audio because no one was using it. So if you get that data from your pedal.
Oh, is everyone frozen?
Manufacturing point of view, it's like, well, if no one's using this, I might as well take it out because I'm saving myself money.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's a collaboration as well, you just want the kind of essence of that pedal.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that, and the graphic on the front is amazing.
Yeah, it looks really cool, doesn't it?
With all of
it's really cute.
Brilliant, yeah, but I found that one especially charming. So kudos. I can't wait to hear some sounds of that.
I use an actual cafetiere on a daily basis, and I love that it's got like this really nice cafetiere on here. It's pretty cool.
I whipped the cafetiere out for the first time in about probably 4 or so months, and I did some cold brew coffee in it.
Oh, dude, that sounds nice.
I had this exact glass full with black coffee and ice earlier on. It's exactly the same sort of thing. And my wife picked it up thinking it was Coke. That was funny.
I just got to say hello to the 27 people that we got in our watch party now and 13 in the stream. Hello, peeps. If you leave some comments for us, we will get to them in the middle of the stream. Obviously, for live stream viewers, for anyone listening back to this on podcast services, you can't leave a comment. That's very sad.
Yeah, that is not an option.
Hello, please can leave some comments.
We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really, really odd? I see a different number of people than you do. That is bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
I've got 30. Although a moment ago I did have 10.
Well, there you go. It's all over the place. Getting new people in as we go. But yeah, shall we get to the gear news, boys, so that we can keep up with the schedule?
What about what we've been up to?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, of course.
Choosy me to cock that
There is a whole section I'm skipping over.
Yeah, it's time to stroke our own egos here. Speaking of egos that need stroking, Will, you're continuing on the celebrity train of TikTok, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm doing pretty well on there. Got like 6,000, 7,000 ish followers. I think it's 6,500. That 7,000 is my next goal. So, and been trialing out a few things on there. Been doing explaining what pedals do. In layman's terms, which has been fun.
Indeed, I especially appreciated the mouth actions that went with the wah pedal review. It's rather good.
Wah. When I did it was like wow, like that. But if you need to explain what an effect is to someone who like has literally no idea, then you got to do those things. And that series is all kind of inspired by my brother came into like my studio when he was still living here with me, and he was like, "What does that one do? Does this one make the beep beep noise? Does that one make the boop boop noise?" It's like, which one of these does the C chord? And like that made me realize from like a layperson's perspective, no one has any idea what pedals are. And it's this huge, big world of musical instruments that people don't even know exist. So it's like, right, well,
lights and strobe effects, aren't they? To people who play guitar.
Yeah. So it was just one of those things. Is like, at least I can like do a couple videos so people can understand. If you're just starting with guitar or just starting with pedals, you can see it's like, oh, okay, I like that sound. I like this thing. Let's see how we go. So, yeah.
Most people who don't know anything about guitar, if you say to them the wah wah pedal, they go, "Oh yeah, I know all about that." So of course you do, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know all about that. I'm sure you don't.
So the one I featured was the Ibanez Weeping Demon, which is the one that I am always petitioning Ibanez, and they may be listening. To please do another version of, because I love this thing. It's the best wah ever made.
There you go. So I mean, if you want to reissue it and perhaps get an artist tie-in, you can change it to the Will Demon. There you go, and it can still be the WD as well.
Yeah.
So
I'd love it. If only.
Could you call it the Weeping Complex?
Oh dear God!
Oh man, that sounds a lot more rude than I intended. I kind of thought of it like someone's got depression or something.
Oh God, that should be your podcast title for this week. That's definitely it. The Weeping Complex. Ooh.
Well, I was thinking about the Rocket Demon, and I thought that sounds really cool. And then I went with the Weeping Demon, the Weeping Complex.
Oh dear.
The Rocket Demon again sounds slightly sexual.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
I think it does depend somewhat on the person who's listening, and I'm by that I'm completely delegating the blame to you, Adam.
Yep. Yeah. No, completely. I mean, if there is an opportunity to turn it south, a little blue.
Yeah.
Then I mean, I largely play the blues, so I mean, it goes with the territory, doesn't it?
And anything depressing needs to come out with the blues, of course.
Well, we've got our dad joke now, haven't we?
Yeah, it's already there.
There we go.
Oh yeah, and speaking of as well for purchases this week, I've just got the Screaming Blues, thanks to someone. I found one on the Facebook Marketplace, of course, so that was quite nice.
It's such a hotbed of good and bad things. You know, I've just put my camera up for sale on it because this bloody thing doesn't stream live images. And I'm like, come on, someone message me. But I know that like 90% of the people who message me are going to be time wasters.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, do you remember that sofa I had here that I tried to get rid of for like nearly a year?
Yep, I do remember that. Every week it was in a different position.
What, we're still talking about the sofa?
I moved it and then moved it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, guys, let's talk about some gear stuff. Sorry, not sofas. Yes. So, how is that Blues Screamer?
Oh yeah, the Screaming Blues from Digitech. It is. I think it's the best blues driver ever because there's something about blues drivers that everyone wants to add bass to them. And so every mod on a blues driver is all about, let's add more bottom end. You think the best-selling ones, like the Super Fat mod and the Waza Blues driver, they all have that mode that boosts up the low end. And the great thing is about the Screaming Blues is that that's on a dial, so on a knob, that you can actually pick the amount that you want. And that's amazing. So for me, that was always my complaint with any blues driver I played is whenever I switch on the and more bass mode, I don't get to control how much and more bass is added.
That's the
thing I really love about it.
Worth noting, you can turn that off on at least the Wazacraft. I don't know about the Super Fat mod. I imagine Robert would have chucked that in though. But is it switchable on the Super Fat mod?
You just get a between fat and thin. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't get. It's the only blues driver I've found that has that low end on a knob over any other pedal. So yeah, that's why it's currently on my board is because of that pretty much.
And how much was that? Because they are super cheap, aren't they?
Oh, it was £30, man. £30 with shipping.
Jeez.
Yeah, so if you can find one used, they're good to get. And they are discontinued now, unfortunately.
Other than on my OD200, I don't have a blues driver, believe it or not.
Do you not?
No.
Yeah.
I need to get an original one, really, don't I? To go with my old pedal collection.
Yeah, I'd say so, man. Try and find a silver screw one from Japan.
Yeah, I will.
You could pay a fair bit for that, or you could go for the Screaming Blues.
Yeah, but exactly. I want it for my collection.
Before the market pick up on these videos that we're doing about them, and then I'm trying to make it like we're JHS or
of course.
But
whenever anything goes on there, you always see the used market of whatever they're featuring go up.
Hasn't that been on there though? I think Josh did the Digitech
he
episode.
did DOD. I don't think he did Digitech. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
I bet that's coming. If he hasn't done it, he will be.
Yeah, I hope so.
The Bat Monkey is about to shoot up in price to get one.
I bet
I've already got one. It's over there.
Yeah, for all talk no tone.
I think you've frozen.
Nice. You have, yeah. You're doing Jedi Force Lightning on my screen. You've got your hand out like this.
Tweak your camera on and off, or off and on.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same right now because I know I'm flashing on the live stream. I'm doing a couple frames every now and then, so I'm just going to reconnect my camera and see if that helps. Discord stop.
Oh no, I wish I hadn't have done that. You're going to go back to just blue flashy dots now, aren't you? You're both.
No, it's fine. I'm back.
No, you're not. Back. You're both now blue flashy dots.
Okay.
Bollocks.
That's what you get, Lee.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Oh dear.
Well,
we'll come back in a second. I'm sure we will.
You won't.
Okay.
No, you won't.
Well, I can see Mr. Budget Pedal Chap right now.
Yeah, but the rest of the world can't see either of you.
Which makes this entirely useless.
Yeah, and what makes it worse is it doesn't fix unless I log off and then log back on.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. No. Okay, so what do we do now? Problem solving, people.
What do we do?
Carry on.
Can you click on us and force it into...
No, I'll tell you what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to log off and then click back on very quickly.
Okay. All right.
Let me prepare. This is great.
This is great radio.
Brilliant. Fucking viewing, isn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah. We are so sorry for our technical issues.
I've lost everyone. Okay, there we are. Right, okay, let's do this. Right.
Okay.
I hope this doesn't go bad. And then put back on that.
We won't be shared on on Lee's. Okay. Any better?
Yeah. You're all there, but I need
Fabulous.
to do something quickly. I need to do that. No, I need to go to here. And then I need to go to...
I best not do that, otherwise we'll get copyright.
Yeah, we'll get copyright striked. Lol.
And we're all back. And we're back in the room. Right,
okay.
Sorry about that, people.
It's all right.
I've got one final thing from my what I've been up to update. And I think this is quite useful to the podcast and stuff. If it's all right.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
All right, Pat. I've started a new series on YouTube all about building pedal boards. Yay! Finally, I've been talking about it for like a year, getting around to finishing off production on this series, and we're 3 episodes in to that series, and it's gone really, really well. Been very well received and tweeted out by any manufacturers I've featured in the show, which has been really nice. So yeah. If you're interested, or if you're in the midway point of building your next pedal board, I'm doing hopefully 2 episodes a week if I can get to it, but definitely 1 episode a week. And we're up to Power is the next episode. So if you're interested in that, you can check out my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've been following along with them, and there's some pretty cool information. Some stuff that I would have hoped to have had when I first started building pedal boards.
Yeah,
it's a lot of I would have saved myself a lot of money not to buy the things to realise now I don't need that.
Yeah, well, that's the intent. That's when I started this. It was not just to be like what good looks like from pedal board building, but if there's any beginners out there, the whole guitar community has gone through these pitfalls before. We've all made these mistakes. So it's now like time to learn from other people's mistakes. So if you can,
absolutely
follow this guide. But there's other guides available from other great channels too. So
what tends to be a problem is when the beginner guitarists do ask the questions in the groups. A lot of the time they get
other people's mistakes.
Get faced with kind of snarky comments and, oh, you don't know this.
Oh man, I hate that. Gatekeeping is the worst.
Yeah, whereas like your video it's very unopinionated and very kind of matter of fact. You did one about soldered versus solderless cables, and you literally like just bash out the pros and cons of each way, and you're like, this is why you might want this. Yeah. This is why you might want to go the other way, which is really cool because like if you put the words soldered versus solderless cables as a post in any group, that is going to be divisive straight off the get-go.
It's a conversational hand grenade. That's what it is. It's something you throw out and then you walk away and watch the chaos.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be a case where you get those matter of fact posts kind of helping you out, but you don't. I've got George L cables and I think they're the best.
Yeah,
and you go, okay, yeah, sweet, great, that's amazing, but why? Like, why are you using cables? Why? So you've kind of outlined that, and you've given some examples of some companies that you might want to look at.
Yeah, totally. I would try to be as objective and unopinionated as possible. Obviously, in the series, I'm building a pedal board, so there's bias there for what I picked.
Yeah.
But the thing is with both solderless and soldered cables is that they both have a place. There is applications for both. And it's like, one might have other drawbacks that the other one doesn't, but it doesn't mean they're not good. Because like whatever cables you pick, as long as they're, from a reputable brand, I guarantee you when the music scene was obviously open, there were cables up and down the country, the world, that were all touring or playing gigs every night, and no one has drawbacks. You look at that and it's think, well, just pick the right one for you, and it's helping people along that journey without being that elitist gatekeeping person. Like you have to spend. Yeah, you have to spend hundreds of pounds on a set of cable because I think these gold-tipped, kissed by the lips of angels themselves, cables are the best ones ever.
Do you know what? There are some really cool things I've learned about cables recently. There's such things such as the way the cable uncoils. So certain artists want it so when you drop the cable, say it's curled up on the stage, and you're playing, as you walk away, they want it to very flatly unravel. In a nice flat way. They want it to just flop onto the floor nicely. They don't want it to all be bendy and or wrap around the singer's feet and stuff like this. And you do get the capacitance and these sort of things changing, but what they want is very low capacitance with a very long cable, and that does make a big difference. I didn't know about any of this until very, very recently, and it's made me appreciate expensive cables a bit more.
Yeah,
we all know how really cheap cables can sound terrible and break really easy.
Yeah, well, there's an economic point of view where it's like cables. I use a lot of Fender cables. And they're like really, really good quality for the capacitance that you get with them, the length, and how long they'll last. And it just makes sense to spend that little bit of extra. Don't buy the Amazon Basics cable because you know it won't last.
It starts picking up Spanish radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my car radio.
Yeah. Well, yeah, where you pick up radio stations from France and stuff.
Yeah, all the time. Honestly, I know this is like going into information people don't really need to ask behind the curtain sort of thing, but when we all met on Discord earlier, Budget Pedal chap came on and went, bonjour, and my instant reaction was, oh, balls, I've tuned into France again. Because every time I get in my car and the radio comes on, I get French radio stations.
Oh, dear.
It's funny. So, Budget Pedal chap, what have you been up to, my friend?
Hey, that's me.
It is. We're half an hour in and we haven't got any news, so let's crack on.
I will be brief. I've I've done various things. The last video that was released was the Joyo Uzi, which you have tried, Will. Not Will. Lee, you're up this way.
It's 3 letters, mate. It's not that hard.
Well, you have the longest name, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. Think how many syllables in there we have to remember.
It's like a tongue twister. Can you imagine trying to order a takeaway using Budget Pedal Chap as your name? But I didn't even say it right then. Budget Pedal Chap. And that was not me.
Anyway, sorry, I derailed us.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So the Joyo Uzi, it was a relatively long video, and what I usually do in the videos is do like a little clip of it through a clean amp, and then like sometimes a clip of it through a driven amp or with another pedal in front of it or whatever. With this one, it was just purely about the Uzi because it's got so many controls. It's got.
So what is it then? What is it? It's what sort of pedal is it?
So it's safe to say that it's quite high gain, quite ampy sounding distortion.
No, it's not. It's not one of those.
Me?
Could you not see my camera? I was holding a Metal Zone up to the camera, but it's not a Metal Zone. It's not actually a Metal Zone at all.
They do. They have something in that series, don't they? That's of that ilk.
I don't know. I think it's based on a BEOD, to be fair, without beating around the bush. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a direct copy of the BEOD, and that is one of those pedals that I do actually want back because I really like that one.
You are well. It's one of those that kind of falls outside of my comfort zone. However, that being said, it was quite fun to play with. I think I do mention this in the video, and I mentioned it to a chap in the comments as well, that the fact that it's got essentially like a 4-band EQ, because it's got bass, middle, treble, and then a bias, which kind of it almost kind of tightens up the frequency range. So like to the one end, it's kind of like more classic, quite flubby bass, quite a big and open round sound, and then the more you take it to the right hand side, the more it kind of tightens everything up and modernizes that tone, and you get a bit of compression as well. But the drawback I found with the fact that it had one end is essentially like a 4-band EQ was that it's easy to dial in not good sounds or not preferable sounds.
Yeah, so absolutely. I absolutely hear that. It's the same with the Metal Zone. There are so many crap sounds in it that you can get because it's the most powerful EQ section of any pedal that Boss have ever released. At the time of release, it was the most powerful EQ section of any pedal outside of an EQ pedal.
Yeah.
But that means tons of those dials, like wherever you set them, can be awful. But then when you find the setting that works, you're like, yes, amazing.
Oh yeah,
those metal zones can sound great.
Brilliant tones in a Metal Zone, really are. It doesn't even have to sound like metal. It can sound like it's one of the best classic rock pedals I've ever had. I loved the Metal Zone, and I didn't for a long time because I was using it wrong, and there was a lot of things like saying. Did you ever use the MXR? What was it called? It was the equivalent to the Metal Zone.
Fart box.
Sorry.
The fart box.
Yeah, more or less. It was like bees. What is it called? I've got to Google it. I'll Google it now and find out. MXR metal. Full bore metal, wasn't it? Full bore metal.
Oh yeah, I never played one.
What?
That's one of the ones that had like Slash's signature on it.
No, Slash never used that one.
What I mean is those all look quite intimidating to the end user a little bit.
It had a lot of controls on it, but it just it was really aggressive. I nearly bought one when I was younger, when they first came out, and pretty glad I didn't.
Yeah,
and I love MXR. They're my favourite mainstream pedal company. I really love MXR stuff, and
I've got time for MXR. I think they do a good pedal or two.
They do.
True that.
Yeah, I think the thing that is so good about about EQs, like the Metal Zone and like the Uzi, are also the thing that can be its downfall. And I found that really interesting. And this one again, it works. If you dial the game back, it works really well as a classic rock pedal. I just noticed we've been sent a rather interesting message on the Facebook chat.
I'm just reading it now. This is actually one of my very good friends, Richard Grace. He's one of the admin for Pedalboard Today and has been for a long time. And it's a very good point he makes. Do you want to make it, or shall I?
So the original thing's by a person called Sean.
Sean,
just
sorry.
So
go ahead.
Let me read it. Really, actually. So it says this year has been an extremely weak year for new pedal releases due to the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Yeah.
I am paraphrasing it, sure. Do you think you will see a surplus of new pedals in 2021 Winter NAMM, or do you think it will be the following summer? In our opinions.
Now that is Sean Mack of Sugar Ray Licks. Now they are a company. Those dudes. Again, backwards, apologies. But they have a really good encyclopedia of pedals. They actually sell a few of them off as well. Go and check out Sugar Ray Licks. They've got a really great YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. Really interesting point there, actually. Because, I mean, there have been some releases, and we've got a few, and we've mentioned a few. But if you're a listener of the podcast quite frequently, you'll notice that where we used to be mentioning 3 or 4 things every week, we've been kind of dialing it back a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because that kind of volume of guitar releases, be it guitars or pedals or amps, they've kind of slowed down, and it's because, as we say, there's a global situation on at the moment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make business sense to be putting stuff out when people can't go out and get them, and people got to go to the shops and try them.
That's the thing. There's a couple economic factors going on here. There's obviously the market slowdown for everything. There's the supply side shock that because all of the electronic components, from most of them, are made in the Far East. We have 3 months of build-up of large shipping containers to come over still. So there's still quite a lot of time that transport needs to take, and then obviously it's confidence. Is speaking to some, I won't name any names here, but speaking to some retailers and some manufacturers of guitar-related things, people are kind of waiting to see what the market is going to be like, because they're not sure and they're not confident that if they launch a new product, are people going to buy it right now? Because everyone wants to be, saving, of course, because there may be some economic downside to attending the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. So, there's a lot going on.
It's quite hard, isn't it? I mean, taking it off guitar for a while, there were a couple of local businesses, like local coffee shops and small businesses like that, who just saying, after the lockdown releases, we just won't be opening because we haven't been able to take the hit that this has forced upon us. So, I mean...
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I'd like to add my 2 cents in here as well. Because I work with TonePedia and I do coordinate myself with the guys in the industry on a regular basis, like basically a daily basis. I hear it from them, and there's things that you wouldn't necessarily expect, such as a lot of people, they're getting stuff in from China that they would normally get in, such as the cases and these sort of things, or the PCBs, because let's face it, we all know that a lot of companies buy from over there, but it's getting them powder coated or UV printed once they get here, because so many companies have gone into they've shut down during the period. So you've got these pedals that are sitting there, they're ready to go, but they're in cases that look like that.
Like that,
That's your old thing.
Yeah, but, yeah, it is. Yeah, Tape made me that as a polarity reverse for tap tempo.
And this is just like a general Hammond case with pen written on it. You know, and I say that for the listeners, not necessarily for the viewers. But yeah, there's loads of people I've spoken to, and they're like, "Look, I'm having to redo all my artwork because the artwork that I've got at the moment can only be UV printed. It can't be what's it called when you." Yeah, whatever type of other printing there is.
Yeah,
and
UV powder coating. And then there's with the squeegee. Oh god, it'll come to me. Screen printing.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. So what you're going to see is a lot of people coming out with really cool new ways of new designs and stuff. And that's for the majority of the people. That's going to be the reason why, because the people who have the UV printers, printing companies, are saying no, sorry, we're closed down, or we've got back orders from these companies. This company sends us £1 million worth of work. You're sending me 10 pedals a year, so they're going to take priority. So that's there's a lot of unexpected things like that. But let's go on to the point that Richard makes here, which is really cool. We, as the budget pedal chap made very clear, we're talking about minimum of 3 bits of gear every week, and that doesn't cover it all. The amount of stuff we put aside and never get around to is just unusual. That's what we should do. We should go back over all that. But
we usually get to cherry pick what we want to mention. At the moment, it's a case where we mention the things that are out, and that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah. So what Richard Grace has said here is, look, we are inundated with so much gear that sometimes we don't really get the opportunity to appreciate what we've got, and maybe this bit of a gap in gear inundation is good for us to actually make the most of what we've got. And Richard is the only person I know who has said in the last 6 months, that's my board, I'm going to stick to it, and has.
He's finished. He's found the end, the light at the end of the tunnel.
He thinks he's finished.
Yeah.
He's an admin on Pedalboard to Doom. It's just not going to happen.
No, of course.
Sorry, Rich.
It will never end. It will never end. But that's interesting that at least like keeping a board for 6 months, even for some of our members in the group, is a long time.
Yeah, unless I'm gigging and I've got like tones for set songs, it just doesn't happen. God, I miss gigging.
You put the gear in and go, oh, that's a bit nice. I need to incorporate that into my setup, and then the ritual rejig comes about, isn't it?
It does, yeah.
Right, I've just noticed the time we're on. We're kind of just past halfway, and I did promise that halfway through the podcast that we'd do a little announcement.
Let's do that giveaway.
Let's do it. Woo! So just as a quick recap, at the start of the month, we paired up with Fletcher Pickups to give a new name to this set of pickups that are kind of classic rock, Gilmour inspired, really thick sounding Strat pickups.
It's 2 C's.
Indeed, yes. I've got a set in my Ibanez Fireman, which is just over there, which you can't see, but I can. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It sounds really big, thick, and chonky.
Chonky.
It is chonky.
Chonky boy.
Chonky boy. I mean, it sounds not very stratty because it's essentially a Gibson. It's like short scale length, made out of mahogany, but the pickups still sound fantastic in it. And if I put them in a quote unquote proper Strat, they would sound stratty AF. So amazing pickups, and we have got one lucky winner. There have been some amazing entries for this, and there's been some go from like subtle names to some that are blatantly in your face, like the comfortably Gilmour set or something like that.
I thought you were going to say comfortably bum. I really thought you were going to say comfortably bum.
We have to say the competition was, for anyone who doesn't know about it, it was to name the pickups, but in a way that makes it's Pink Floyd inspired, but not so that they get sued.
All right, okay, let's do a drum roll. Are you ready for a drum roll?
Yeah, go on, let's do this.
Okay.
Ready?
So the name for it, I think, was the Prism set, or I think what he's actually going to go with is the Lunar Prism.
Oh, that's nice.
Based around the artwork of a certain album, and the person who suggested that or instigated that kind of thought process was Mr. Matt Campbell. So well done,
Yay,
Matt.
Congratulations. Woo! Congratulations.
Lunar Prism. Well done. That's good. I like that.
I love it. I would buy those pickups based on that name alone.
Lunar Prism. Yeah. I like that. Aside from Pink Floyd, I think that sounds really, really cool. Yeah, Lunar Prism. I've got some friends that are very involved with the Pink Floyd world, and I will recommend this to them and tell them about the name, see what they think.
Indeed. So, Mr. Matt Campbell, it is now down to you. Down to you. Get in contact with Fletcher Pickups on Facebook or on Instagram, and then we can get the ball rolling on getting them sent out to you. Mr. Fletcher himself sent me a picture of the set being made today, and it made me very excited.
Nice.
Fletcher said himself he's happy with it. Well, obviously, because you chose it. But no, it's a bloody good name, man. That's really, really cool.
Indeed, I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, well done, Matt, and they will be making their way to you as soon as you get in contact and get that rolling. You will be out, like, blown away by them. They are fantastic. Right.
Okay.
Do you want to do some news? Or in fact, we haven't talked to Lee yet, have we? We've not talked about your stuff.
I'll go through a couple of things because I've been so busy and so bloody hot that I've not spent much time in the studio. So I've not done much in terms of music wise my way, but we've done some really, really cool work with Boss at TonePedia, and I want to tell you about it because it's really, really cool. I'll sum it up very, very quickly. It was either earlier this year or late last year. I think it was earlier this year. Boss brought out 2 new delay pedals, as if they don't have enough. Right, These boys have delay tied up really, really well. You got to think about it. If they've got the Space Echo,
yep.
Indeed.
Then you've got the DM2, the Dungeon Master 2. I mean,
delay. The DM2 analog delay.
Yep. And
Terra Echo.
Yeah, Terra Echo. You've got the DD-2, DD-3. Then you've got the remodeled DD-3, which came out in the 90s, which was just a change in chips and these sort of things. Then you had the RE201, which was the Space Echo, but in the digital double pedal format. Then DD-500. Then the DD-200, DD-7,
yep, DD-8.
Well, that's what's come out. So you just pissed on my bonfire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad, dude. I thought we were just trying to get to the end of the list.
That's it.
Whoops.
So we've probably missed a shitload of them, but the DD-3T and the DD-8 came out earlier in this year, and the questions that people had were, why would I want to upgrade from a DD-7 to a DD-8? So we made a fantastic video on that on Friday. And that's on TonePedia YouTube. So go and check that out. That's myself and Emmanuel, my colleague over at TonePedia, who is an absolute monster guitarist. You know, I don't even bother playing guitar on the live streams because it's just why. Oh, you've all frozen. Budget Pedal Chap, you still there?
I am here.
Okay, cool. You froze. Yep, I am here. Okay, so right. So what we've done on TonePedia is we have demoed. We've created interactive demos. I can see your fingers moving, man. Mr. Budget Pedal Chap there for the listeners has just put his hands up in the air as if he's like been told to freeze by the American police, and he's pretending to be frozen. And his fingers are like twitching as if he's playing guitar. Oh man. Okay, yeah. So we've done interactive demos of the DD-8 and the DD-3T. They are blinding, and what you can do is go on to TonePedia and you can also put the DD3 original DD3 versus the DD3T, and that, you know, spoiler alert, they sound exactly the bloody same. And you can also go on and see what the DD-8 offers over the DD-7 and why you'd buy one rather than the other. There's about a £20 difference in the two pedals, and with the DD-8 you get a looper built in and something else. I think it's the reverb. I think you get you get the reverb.
Terra Echo reverb.
It's not Terra Echo reverb. It's just a reverb. It's the standard digital delay with reverb on the trails. So it's quite nice.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'd go for the DD-8. And obviously they've got the DD-200 as well, which we won't talk about that. Well, we will.
No, we will, because as I'm getting through the finally getting around to doing this bloody pedalboard building series, it is on the cards. One, for when I do the TikTok about what is delay, I will talk obviously with Boss, not with Boss. I will use that pedal in the video and talk about it. That's what I meant. And then obviously once the series is ended, I can do that final thing of what is delay and do a big episode all about the DD-200.
You've had that pedal longer than I had that pedal.
It's epic. If anyone is in the market for delay, Boss is your first stop on that tour.
Did you think he was going to sell my pedal then? If anyone's in the market for a delay,
I'm not selling
I've got this DD-200 that you can have.
Yeah, if anyone, I'll go on Facebook Marketplace, of course. No, man, that pedal is going straight back to you as soon as I've done that video, I promise.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool.
There's another feature on the DD-8. I've just pulled up the page here. There's a carryover feature. So Trails mode. There's a small switch on the back of it where you can turn that off and on.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
It's Boss's most powerful compact pedal ever.
Yeah,
very, very, very good. And you got to think that includes the SY1, which is a monster, an absolute monster.
Simply.
Do you want to
do some news? Because I've just noticed we're pretty close to the hour. However, we have got some bloody news. Let's do the bloody news.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm all about it.
Okay, can I go first?
Go on then. Yeah.
Yes.
TC Electronics have released a computer game in 2020 that came out in the 70s.
Oh my god! He's not wrong.
So, we've got to kind of aim it towards guitar news. What we're talking about here is the fact that the Ditto Looper, which was released in 2013, I believe, has had a little bit of a zhuzh for 2020, a little rejig. So, I mean, I've got one of the little Ditto mini loopers, and when I use it, I think, what could be improved about this? And I think, that's fine. It works well. However, TC, they are never content.
They know better.
So they do. That's why they are where they are. I am sat in a chair of questionable. So yeah, essentially, the old Ditto allows you to loop and overdub and all the things you expect from a kind of mini looper. And once you've done that, it was done pretty much. Your loop was lost forever, and you go about your life.
I think it saves it. I think it saves your loop.
Does it?
The old one did save your loop, yes, but the new one will do so many more things than that.
It gives you 99 slots for saving loops, doesn't it? So you don't just have to keep the one thing on until you can plug it into a computer and download loop. This allows you to just store it and put it away for later. So if you find like a chord progression that you really like jamming along to, you could store that in one of your little sections and then like pull it back up as just a little practice thing.
Yeah,
cool.
There's a 60 minutes record time on it, which that's an insane amount if you think how many loops you can recall on there, because there's an actual, as Lee alluded to, albums, you can there's a UI on it, so you're able to navigate through all of your different recordings on the looper itself.
It's got a little screen now rather than just being a standard enclosure. So it's and it actually shows you where in your loop you are as well. It shows like a loop progression as it's going through, like a loading bar almost.
And there's also a feature on it called Auto Cue, where it can line up your overdubs with the original loop that you did. So there's a clean looping and recording experience.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to admit, once I'd put in one chord progression, I was like, "Yep, that'll do." Experience, because I don't want to put it after that.
Yeah, totally.
It's pretty cool. You know, that Ditto Looper is probably one of the best-selling TC pedals ever. Everyone's got one, apart from us three. And it just looks really great. Why not add a computer game to it? So what they've done on the little LCD screen that you've got smack bang in the middle of it is they've made it so you can play Pong. If you don't know what Pong is, we're older than you.
Yeah, that's worrying.
Pong is that silly little well, it's not. It's a fantastic game. I remember playing it as a kid. But we've got. Hang on a minute. I can do this better.
Table tennis. Boom. It looks like this. It looks like this.
Yeah.
So this is Pong.
Oh my god. Yeah.
If tuning in at this point, we have not gone mad.
No, we've totally gone mad. We went mad a while ago, dude.
So what's going to be the deal breaker for this one is the price, because I don't think as of yet they have released a price.
They have released a price. Would you like to take a guess?
£99.
It is actually £99. Yep.
That was a guess.
Yep.
That's not bad. I mean, the previous one was less than that, I think.
Yep.
But not by much.
But how much is Pong?
Yeah. You can. I bet there's an internet browser version of Pong at this point.
Yeah, probably. So, I've got it on an emulator.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain there was one of those Google screen versions of Pong at some point.
Yeah. I want someone to make a Google, a version of Pong of me. My head pop up, down, my hands on either side.
Easy to do.
Yeah. I want
anyone with a Unity license can just rip a picture of your face and your hands from that moment in the cast, and then God,
please someone do that if you can.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at
that'd be hilarious.
Everyone, I was going to mention people, but I don't know if they've got things.
Please don't indulge his fantasies.
Anyway, moving on.
What a great thing to add to your website, though. Great.
It'd be a brilliant thing to have on like pbodoom.com, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Play interactive Lee Pong.
Lee does Pong sometimes. Depends on what I've eaten. Okay. What else have we got, man? What else have we got?
Do you want to talk about the jam pedals, Will?
Yes. Yes, I do. Let me just have the article here in front of me, so I've got it for reference. Right. Jam Pedals are doing an amazing initiative right now to support. Obviously, there's a load of artists that are out of work at the moment. A lot of musicians can't play, as I'm sure people attending the cast today can't, obviously go out and gig as they normally would. But Jam Pedals are doing a little bit to help out. So what they've done is they've got a series of gold pedals that have been signed by various artists. And there's going to be 150 of each one of the 10 pedals that they have. in this series. It's called the Lending a Hand campaign. There's obviously black and gold T-shirts and stuff. I think Lee, I sent you a couple pictures of this, but if I could stream the page if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead,
just so that everyone can give a look. Right, where's the share?
Pedalboards have been involved with this, so we've had it shared up on Pedalboards of Doom for the for the last week or so. There's lots and lots of people making videos of this. We were going to make a video, but unfortunately I was very, very unwell, so I didn't get around to it, which was really unfortunate because I really wanted to do that. But the guys over at Jam are very good friends, and they they're great guys. And is anyone else wondering what I'm doing with this Wampler
No,
bag?
I have no idea what on earth you're doing. That is a Wampler bag that you are fisting. Brilliant. In this very moment of charity, you have to join the stream on your side, please, so people can see the pictures.
Click watch stream.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yep, of course.
There we go. Brilliant. Okay. So back on topic. Back on topic. So what Jam are doing is they have these pedals signed by artists, and they're going up for auction. So you have to, depending on what your bid is, the 10 highest bids will get the pedals, and those bids, depending on those, how high the bid you have is how low the serial number is from your series. So if you have the highest bid, you get serial number 1. If you have the 10th highest bid, you get serial number 10, basically. And they are signed by brilliant artists. I will read a couple now and butcher some names. So let's do that. Niles Clenn, Neil Schoen, Steve Lukather, Bill Fritzel, Julian Lang, John Schofield, Graham Coxon, Sean Ono, Lennon J. Marquez, Lee Ronaldo, Nile Rogers, Richie Sambora,
Woo!
Alex Stolnick, yes, Andy Tibbins, yes, and Dave Thorne. So all of those artists will be signing some of the pedals, and all of this is to go towards the call out. I've got a list of charities here. So this is all going to be in support of Music Cares, Jazz Coalition, the Jazz Foundation, New Music US, Crew Nation, and Northern Greek Musician, which is where obviously Jam pedals are from, where being based in Athens. So a really great thing there. If you can help out and donate any money towards that, or have a bid in to try and get one of these pedals, if you're interested in a super shiny gold one, I would go about doing that if you can.
Just some, we've spoken about Jam pedals before, but I would say, from my personal preference, the Rattler is, anyone who listens regularly to us will know that I love Rat's pedals anyway. And the Rattler is one of the best on the market, so that's a great one. And the Dalai Lama, I don't know if the Dalai Lama Extreme's in there. It looks like
It's not.
Is it not? Is it not the one in the middle?
We've got Double Dreamer, and then we've got Retro Vibe. I'll try and see if I can go through the whole series. We've got their wah is the Wacko wah.
Retro Vibe, such a good wah that is. That is such a cool wah.
We've got the Tube Dreamer, then the Double Dreamer. There is a Dalai Lama regular version. And then their chorus, the one with the tap on it. I can't remember what their chorus is called.
I think the Double Dreamer is a Lucy Dreamer and a Tube Dreamer together.
Yes, that's the...
You've gone quiet again, dude.
This article I have got up, which is gearnews.com, they do not list the full pedals there, but you can obviously imagine it's going to be... it's the Waterfall chorus vibrato.
That's
on there.
Yeah, the Waterfall chorus is beautiful. It really is. That's cool, man.
So that's what they've got going on. And obviously as well, I'm going to click on the T-shirt designs, because the T-shirt designs look freaking awesome. Right there. I want one of those. I think
I may be having a word with someone at Jam to get one of those. That looks awesome.
Yeah. They look really great.
Yeah.
Honestly, look really great. So there you go. So that's a bit of news, ways that you can help out fellow musicians who are falling upon hard times. those of us who have, started to live the dream of people who have become a professional musician just before the Backstreet Boys World Tour hit us all. And so, they all need our help. So if anyone can donate or, be part of this auction, that would be fabulous.
Let me add to this, because behind the scenes, people don't realize, you just see, a giveaway in these sort of things or an auction and the guys at Jam have been working their bollocks off. They really have been working so hard at this. Yeah, every given minute has been about these pedals and about this giveaway. So, we've got all these big names behind it, including Richie Sambora, man. And we've got people like Henning Pauly, we've got That Pedal Show doing videos about it. It's probably best I didn't do a video, to be fair, with the caliber that's out there. But yeah, so we're doing this to promote it as well. So I'll let the guys know that we've done that. But yeah, go on there, check it out. Good going, boys. Yeah. Good going.
Right, moving on to our next item of news. I've got all the articles with the pictures up, so if
let's leave it up.
If you guys want to, let's do it. Right, we've fallen on immediately to the Soldano. We've got a new mini Soldano amp, which is the legendary SL0100 in a 30-watt head. Let's see what else we've got going on. I have no experience with Soldano. I know loads of people absolutely adore these amps. Have either of you guys played one?
No. Hang on.
I've not had the opportunity to, no.
I think
that is a shame.
But for 30 seconds at a guitar show, so
okay, with all that din around, you're never going to be able to tell.
Yeah, it was on one of these amp switching mechanisms where you get to change between lots of different amps. So I think I tried one then.
Yeah.
But I was mainly concentrating on Engels at the time because they were with me.
Yeah.
So I had the guys from Engels next to me. So I was like, let's.
It's not what you want. Well, looking at the front, we've got a couple of different options. We've got a bright in. You've got 2 channels, normal and overdrive. And I can't make it out because the pitch is really low quality, but there's something going on. There's another dip switch on the front. Then we got normal and overdrive gain, 3-band EQ, master volumes for each, an overall presence, and a depth knob, which I assume is reverb. Is that what that is? There's a depth on there, or it might be effects loop depth. I'm not sure. Anyway, other features. Yeah, let me try. Article says no. Thanks, guitarworld.com. I can't click on your pictures and see what I actually want out of this. They've taken the 100-watt version and put it down into a 30-watt. They've improved the noise floor, as well as giving this awesome impedance switch on the back, where you're able to select what ohms impedance you have on a clickable rotary, as well as a level and a line out as well.
Some companies have it
going straight to a desk.
Some companies have it so that changes automatically.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'd like to see that as a thing. I'd probably a lot of Class D power amps that can be like digitally controlled probably have that feature as well. But yeah. That if you're a Soldano fan, rejoice! You have a new baby in your family. I wish you well in this time.
I bet. Yeah,
I'd play that.
Absolutely tears.
Yeah, it's high gain as well, which means I'm interested.
30 watts is a great kind of point, isn't it? Because it's something that if you wanted to attenuate it down, you're not having to squeeze all the life out of it, but it's also loud enough to gig with and loud enough to get everything you want out of it, really.
I think you don't need more than 30 watts unless you're looking for headroom, because any music venue that you go to, if you're gigging and are lucky enough to be in a band where you're drawing a big audience more than a club or a pub, then you go to a venue, what's the first thing that the sound engineers will do when you set up your guitar rig?
We all know this.
Put a mic in front of it.
And do you know what? that pedal show just did a show. I think it was last week. I don't think it was this week. They did a show. It might have been this week. I can't remember. It was about volume. It was about how volume. To summarize it, it was about how volume makes you play. Because if you listen to something and you can feel it, and it's also resonating with your guitar, and it's resonating with your very soul and your lungs and your skull. Then you're going to play differently. You're going to react, because let's face it, if you're walking along and you're listening to something quietly in your headphones, or you walk past a truck and it goes BAM, you react differently. So
totally. Totally. I do have to say though, it's that I gig with in-ear monitors. So that experience of being on stage with a loud guitar amp behind me is like, I haven't experienced that since being a touring bassist like 5 or 6 years ago, and it is a really odd experience just having the sound like here and that feedback not really happening. Like there's a degree of separation there. So it's like volume is great, but 30 watts is going to get you 50 watts. You have to what is it? You have to 10 times the wattage to get a double the volume. So a 10 watt amp is half as loud as a 100 watt amp. So
you've got to bear in mind that a 10 watt transistor amp is not half the volume of a 100 watt valve amp.
Well, we're talking about valve and transistor. A 10 watt valve amp and a 100 watt valve amp, that's going to be the half the volume. And that'll be at full whack as well.
If you want saturated lead sounds, lower volume works for you.
Lower wattage.
Lower headroom helps so much. Which I play my Countess only on the low power mode, which is 9 watts. And I've gigged with that with no volume issues whatsoever. Brilliant. So
I've been the guy at the
once you get past a certain volume.
Sorry, go ahead.
Once you get past a certain volume on valve amps, it doesn't add any more volume. It adds that compression and that saturation.
Totally.
Yeah, I remember reading about Angus Young talking about Marshall amps, and he was saying, once you get past about 5 to 8, the Marshalls don't get any louder; they just get heavier, they just get gainier. It's very true. None of us have had the opportunity to push a plexi that hard, but this is Angus Young we're talking about. But
I tell you how you can is with it's someone who has been part of the podcast and the group before. 2 Notes. If you had any of their attenuators, that as I use one every day, you can crank your amp and have it at low volume.
You can.
It's amazing.
You can also meet a happy medium on it. So attenuators aren't the enemy of volume. What attenuators do is get you to a decent volume, but with your amp cooking.
And that's the beauty of it. You can set your amp.
I wish I had these things when I was gigging, because I was that wanker that was in a small pub with 100 watt Marshall and 4x12.
Yeah, with 2 4x12s behind you as well, right?
Just the one. But the drummer going, I can't hear myself, and I'm like, I can't hear myself. And it's like, well, what's going on?
What are we doing?
I don't know. I want to turn up.
412 behind you.
I can't turn up because no one will let me, but that means my amp sounds shit. What's going on? I need to drive this. And that obviously leads to you buying loads and loads of drive pedals.
Yep.
And that's how that addiction started. From a sound engineer here.
Oh, go on.
It comes down to a balance between with the band. He's an audio engineer, and he's telling people to turn up all of the time.
This particular chap, Greedy Greg, we had a lovely comment from him the other day. He sent me some questions, just asking me about. He said he loves the live streams, and when can he find them more? Find them more? When can he see them?
Find more of them. Yeah.
Hi, Greg. How you doing, man?
Indeed. Yeah, great comment as well. Thanks, Greg. So that's the live streams happen every other Sunday. So at the same time, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah.
And that's a constantly occurring thing. So always check them out. But if you get a little bit lonely in those weeks off, get on the Fret Talk podcast.
There's more content there. Yeah.
It's all good, baby.
Just to round back, to finish off our SLO coverage, price-wise, what do you guys think it is? Please don't read the article in front of you.
So for a mini head,
yeah, what do you think?
Talking about probably $1,000 to $1,500-ish
from Soldano. Okay. Yeah, I'd go with that. But I reckon if they're trying to, because remember you can tour with this, and no one's touring at the minute. I reckon they're probably going to come in about $800 to $1,200. I'm
so sorry to disappoint you both. This 30-watt Soldano amp is $2,699 US.
Oh man!
Which,
I mean, you're talking probably about 1,800 UK.
Yeah,
but with the import as well, you're probably talking.
Oh mate, it's going to be about the same price. It's definitely $2,000 in Great British pounds of the realm. Yeah, man. So when you think about the competition in that 30-watt high gain head, like there's so much competition in that market for such lower cost. Like that is a tough sell, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. But there you go. So Soldano fans, new expensive baby.
Yeah. You've also got in that price range, Messerberg. Did a
25.
Small,
Mark 5 25.
The transatlantic as well.
Yeah. There's Orange.
They're talking a good 2K as well. So
Orange Rocker Verb Mark 4 will set you back 1,500, 1,800 quid off the top of my head. Victory Kraken is 1,000, 1,200 pounds. 11,049 pounds is, I think, the RIP for a Kraken off the top of my head.
Do you know what's worth pointing out? I think we mentioned this towards the beginning of the year, but and people in the comments, please do correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm trying to remember it, but I'm pretty sure Mike Soldano is back at Soldano. So Soldano aren't owned by the original company anymore. I think Mike sold it off, but I have a recollection that he's back there. Does this ring bells with you guys? That he's back?
I think
there?
I heard something like that. Yeah.
So chances are he's designed this amp.
Oh mate,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That would be good if he has. But anyway, we must move on because I've just looked at the time. I don't know how many stories we've got there.
I think it's probably time to wrap it. We'll save the rest for another.
Yeah, sure.
Can I add something I forgot to talk about when I was doing my my bits and pieces earlier? It's only very quick.
Yep.
Go on.
We like I said, my last couple of weeks have been mainly working, and one of the things I've been working on is I've been working very closely with some YouTubers. One is Robert's Guitar Dungeon, which is a man who famously hates fuzz, but I will change him. I will stop that. And the other one is Scott Gaylor, who is a very, very good guitarist. He's been at all NAMM shows for years. He plays live for people like Boss and Keeley and Chase Bliss. So when you go to their stalls, he's generally up there and playing for them. And he's dropped a video for us as well. And basically, it's their take on what TonePedia is. So worth going to watch that and getting someone else's point of view other than mine or Budget Pedal Chap or Will's. You know, you can go and have a look at see what that is. What's really funny is I was watching the Robert's Guitar Dungeon one just before I came on here, and he got completely the wrong end of the stick and said that I invented TonePedia. He said, from the brilliant mind of Lee Alexander. I was like, mate, you're so out the ballpark on that.
Oh, no.
Well done, Lee. Well,
great on those years of programming and recording. It's all you, mate. It's all you.
I haven't done any of that. Thank God. Otherwise, it would be terrible.
Yeah,
that's it. Be a picture of an amp. Just imagine the tone. Just imagine it.
Yeah. Feel it in your soul.
Yeah.
What a lovely podcast we have had today. A lovely live stream. There's been some
great.
fantastic. fantastic interaction from the group as well. Which thank you to you guys. Before we wrap up proper, I always give a shout out to our Patreon chaps. You guys are amazing. So we've got Mr. Bimson.
Where is he?
Who I didn't see him today, so he must be busy.
He's out. He's out the club, man.
That's it. He's out clubbing. I think he's probably.
Oh my god!
Probably
can you imagine?
I hope he's all right. I'm a bit worried about him. He's not here.
No, I saw a post of him earlier, or it might have been yesterday. I'm sure he sent. So we've got Bimson, we've got Yeomans of Chef Tone Effects. We have got. Why have I closed the book? Why have I done this? So Bimson Yeomans, we've got Doug Christ of 37 Effects. We've got Joe Richardson of Everything Joseph. We've got Hugh G. Rection
of my pants.
Yeah. I love it.
That's it. And we've got Mr. Fletcher, who has been in the comments today.
Who's just said
Pickups.
He has literally just said, "Thank you for your help with my dilemma." I think he's talking about pickup name, but it could be something personal as well.
Indeed, I'm always here for your dilemmas. So if you want to be one of the Patreon peeps as well, if you want to be part of that exclusive club, for as little as $2 a month, go to patreon.com/FretTalk, and you will find us and be able to chuck us some money. Keep these lights on. You are currently in the Pedalboards of Doom group, so no need to plug that. But Fret Talk Podcast also have their own podcast group, which is on Facebook. If you want to catch me and you want to catch up on this No Talk All Tone series that Will was talking about earlier, that might convince you to buy some 90s Digitech pedals.
It will. I swear to God, it will.
I want one.
Indeed.
Honestly,
get your Screaming Blues in.
We should monetize this. We're kind of pushing these pedals. I might have a way we can monetize it. Actually,
yeah.
See, I'm gonna approach Digitech for the next one. And go. You got the Screaming Blues for free. Come on, let's sort it out.
Give us the band. Well, apparently, not to derail the outro, but apparently Digitech, there's been some turnover, aggressive turnover of staff there. So there's a lot of turmoil going on. So we may not see any pedals from them for a while.
What was the last thing they brought out? Would it have been a whammy?
The market up for these Screaming Blues pedals.
It does push the market up. Then someone will make a clone, and they will make thousands of pounds.
We just
tens of pounds.
Go on, guys.
If you want to find my No Talk or Turn series, which obviously includes the Screaming Blues, but amongst other things. Then that is youtube.com/budgetpedalchat. You can find me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/budgetpedalchat, and Instagram. All of that stuff kind of keeps you in the loop with that. It also keeps you in the loop with the podcast as well. Will, you are Will ARC?
I'm ARC pal from the band A Rocket Complex. And leave it to the end, of course, to plug. We have a new record coming out at the end of July.
Is it called Raiders of the Lost?
No, but that would be brilliant. That's amazing. Dude, that's great. I love that. It's not. It's called But This Time With Passion. Is our second
or at least
EP.
it was until about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, until about 10 seconds ago. I'm calling the artist in a minute, and the drummer be like, "No, I'm sorry, we're changing the title." No, it's called But This Time With Passion, coming out 31st of July. But if you're just into gear-related topics, on the A Rocket Complex YouTube channel, we have a series all about building pedal boards coming out over the next couple of weeks. So please tune into that. And also on TikTok, if you're on there with all of the cool kids, I'm explaining how effects pedals work in layman's terms and giving you a short demo of each flavor or category of effect on there. So check it out. Yeah.
I mean, the wild one was excellent, and the voice, like the vocalizing of it. What I'm waiting for is like your vocalizing of like modulation pedals.
Oh God,
like,
I've
this
been
is a chorus.
How the hell am I going to explain flanger?
Not a chorus. Was that your chorus? Was that you doing a chorus?
Yeah, go on then. Go on.
No. We're not talking about what I'm doing here. We're talking about you.
There we go.
To me, that sounds like Univibe. That
it could very well be Univibe
because we're not doing how I'd explain tremolo is obviously going in. Wow,
it sounds like a broken like wah. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Wow.
Just gotta stop. I feel like we may have derailed this ending just a touch.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we would. Lee, you are Pedalboards of Doom at everything pretty much. So you're on Instagram. You're obviously the leader of this groupie group, and you also do stuff with TonePedia, which is pretty much everywhere that you can find it.
Yeah, it is. We've mentioned TonePedia a fair bit today, so I don't want to just bore people with too much of it. So yes, go and check it out. It's the most amazing thing ever.
Brilliant.
What a lovely place to end our live stream podcast.
There we go. And for podcast viewers or listeners, we've got a joke coming up, don't we?
Have we got one planned?
Yeah. No.
You will find out. You will find out in about 30 seconds. So up over here, we've got Mr. Will Pell. So it will be a goodbye from Will.
Goodbye from Will.
There we go. And this side, we have got Mr. Lee from Say bye, Lee. Shaggy. For myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Jeff, it will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. Ta-ra a bit.
Bye-bye, all. Bye.
Bye, I love you.
Love you too, Will.
Oh, dear. Right.